We have Mr. James Brady from Baker Hughes, Chief Digital Officer. Welcome to Aspire, sir.
Well, thank you very much.
So my first question to you, what do you see as the biggest opportunity for industry and academia to work together today?
Okay, so that's a good question, right? So I think the question really is, does industry need academia and does academia need industry? And I think they do, and I think there's a lot of complementary. I think within academia, you have obviously a lot of the great minds, but you have a certain element of creativity, and you have young minds from very different backgrounds looking at a variety of problems. And that gives an outside perspective. And so while in industry, we're very focused on specific problems, once you've been in a company for a long time, like myself, we tend to think of things in very discrete, very certain ways, right? And when we work with a university, especially a top university, we're expecting to be challenged. We're expected to be at the students, the professors, postdocs, et cetera, to be asking questions in a different way and maybe bringing some insight that we just don't have anymore, as horrible as that sounds, right? On the academic side, I think we're useful, right? Because we can actually bring these big challenges. So you're able to actually bring together creativity, bright minds, but then we can show you, hopefully, not the easy things. We know how to do these, but we can bring some of these great challenges. Even when talking to the professor today, the professors and the students today, we looked at the whole carbon sequestration, carbon capture sequestration, right? That's not a solved problem. Yes, it's a technology that we see out there in industry. Yes, Baker Hughes is, we think, leading within industry of that, but there's still a lot of hard problems that remain, right? For instance, with what you're trying to do in India, even injecting CO2 or CO2 compressed water into a basalt formulation, there's things that are unknown about that problem. And we don't know how to solve them. There's a lot of deep expertise here, but also, again, this insight, this creativity to look at things a little bit different. And yet we're anchoring you with a very real problem that our industry in particular needs to solve. So I think it's that combination of the minds, the creativity, the backgrounds, that willingness, almost that expectation to ask something different, a different question, to come up with something that's unique and outside the box, and to give you a real challenge.
Yes, together they broaden the horizons.
Yeah.
Actually. True. Thank you, sir. My second question to you, from your perspective, what makes a platform like Aspire, a research park, valuable for enabling that form of collaboration?
Yeah, okay, so again, we saw some of the experiments that are going on, like the CCUS, right? In some ways, it's not just an Aspire laboratory, it's a bit of a Baker Hughes laboratory, isn't it, right? We have a large presence in the country. We have an office, I have a digital office that's really kind of across the lake and up the road a little bit. So in some sense we're neighbors. And so the proximity gives us an opportunity to collaborate. But again, going back to the previous, is we have some challenges through our digital office, maybe just next door to you, but that digital office is also a conduit for a lot of the capabilities and the quote problems of the industry as Baker Hughes sees them. And so being so close and have that relationship, yes, the CCUS, but probably other areas, it gives us the office that we have here so close to you, gives us a channel for a broad number of things to bring, which means that your impact will not just be for our local offices, but actually for our much wider offices within India, but yes, of course, the world.
True, sir. True. My third question to you, sir. So as you know, Baker Hughes is a member of Aspire. How do you see your engagement with the ecosystem evolving, and what role do you think it can play in contributing to India's innovation journey?
Yeah. Okay, again, a good question, right? I mean, it's evolving. Yes, I forget when we joined Aspire, but we've been evolving, we've been doing more and more. I've challenged McKill, my digital center manager here, to expand the relationships with both the industry as well as academic here. So I think there's a natural growth that we will have in the sorts of things that we can do here. And I think we need to be selective of our projects, not just, again, we don't want to give you solved problems. That's a waste of your time, but also of our time. So I think the challenge is to find the interesting problems, the hard things. And, I don't think it's a volume thing, but I think, again, when we kind of get together, and if we can articulate what we think is hard, and then you can embrace that. And then if we can sort of set a pattern for maybe, doing a few of these and effectively growing that, I think we'll both grow. I think that's what will bring our membership a lot more value.
We are always open for difficult things, sir.
Well,
so the last question to you, sir. How does being part of Aspire align with your long-term vision for impact and growth?
okay, so first thing is I'll start out with our presence in India, right? So the fact that we have a center in India means that already we are leveraging India for our growth throughout the world and as our growth as a company, right? And that's through the capability of the people here that we hire and the work that they do and the projection of that. It's obviously, like most companies that are here, it's not just for India per se, but we actually export our capability globally, right? So I think in that, you then see how Aspire, right? We then see Aspire not just as local things that we're doing for the country. That's important too. However, the things that we learn through projects like the CCUS, possibly some other things, we see that as hopefully having some value to the ministry here, to the people here, but also to the broader industry out there. And so we look forward to these things and saying, yeah, it was cooked, if you will, in India, but then it was, spread throughout the world. So we see it as a global center, and we see the Aspire relationship as something that we can leverage globally from the things that we do.
Definitely, sir. We also aim for that. Thank you so much, sir, for your valuable insights.
All right.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you.